Keep going on
I
this
got to do the
series.
book review.
Yeah. Did you read the chapter?
Well, back when it was a segment, you would just find out who skipped it. Now we won't know that anymore. Was the chapter on
Greed.
Yes, I did read it. Very convicting. Great chapter.
Okay, why was it convicting?
Because I'm pretty greedy.
Okay.
Yeah. If I had to describe my personality in a joking way, in a negative way, I would say I'm perpetually discontent.
What way are you pretty greedy? Like greedy with money, greedy with what? Don't look for the book. Just answer the question.
Well, man, underlined a lot of stuff. One of the things I wrote, a question. Oh yeah, I found it interesting. Greed plagues the prodigal and the penny pincher alike. I wrote, how much is enough? How much is enough? A little bit more. Just a little bit more.
Do you, I've heard it said quite often and read it as well, that the more someone starts making, or the more successful they become, the more greedy they become. And I kind of noticed it myself a little bit. Like when I was not making that much, I would always give my...
Proportionally, you were giving...
10% to the church, whatever. And then when I would start making way more, I didn't.
Do you do that no matter how tight you are? Or how disciplined are you in...
I'm not that disciplined on it now. Okay. Now it's a lot more all over the place. Okay. But before it was just like, it was like before tax, I would give my... my tithe. Okay. But I read Randy Alcorn's book, Money, Possessions, and Eternity.
Oh, we should write that one down. Okay.
Randy Alcorn, Money, Possessions, and Eternity.
Good book.
Very good book. Yeah, it's a really big one. It also has a shorter version of that called the Treasury Principle. If you like shorter books, and again, it gives you a summarized version of that. Okay. Talks about how to think about money as a Christian. Yeah. Anyways, my earlier question: do you think that the more someone has, the richer they become, the more greedy they become?
Probably as a general rule, yes.
Why is that? It's kind of
counterintuitive.
Yeah.
I think because one of my favorite sayings is everything you own owns a little piece of you, and it's perpetual. Like, if you I used to drive a $2,000 Jetta diesel beater for years and years, even when I was worth quite a bit of money. I always drove a beater car. And at one point I even got made fun of by customers in a negative way. They would just be like, hey, it's unprofessional. Yeah. You look like a total tool. Like everyone knows you can afford a nicer vehicle. Just buy it. You don't have to buy a fancy truck, buy a mediocre truck. But I got into this horrible habit of like perpetually, and I mean, everyone that has this heart, and this is the problem with talking about greed in the sense of possessions or money. It's not just that. Like you might be greedy in the sense of, you might struggle with the area of just wanting comfort and safety and just that little bit of savings in your bank and just not trusting God with just, how much do you need in savings?
You can be broke and greedy.
Yeah, you could definitely be broke and greedy. And I will say this carefully, highly unlikely you will be blessed with great riches from what I have experienced in my life until you let go of the little bit that you have.
Yeah, I would disagree with that.
You would disagree with that. Well, that's been my experience.
Well, just think about how many rich, super wealthy people that aren't Christians because they've given their whole life to their work.
To making money. Fair enough. But I'm saying I know a lot of really, really generous Christians. And I'm actually really fortunate. I mean, but I could rattle off 50 to 100 people that I know that are very wealthy that give away a lot.
Because you're a generous Christian. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help a lot in creating more content, improving the quality of the content, bringing the production value, getting more guests on, and me being able to spend more time and energy towards it. So if you're interested in doing that, you can click up here and it'll take you to a support page. But you can also subscribe to the podcast by clicking over here and doing that. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.